and welcome to That Broker Show, brought to you by Remen Wholesale. Today, a real special guest. We have Barry Habib on the show. Hi, Barry. How are you?
It's great to be here with you and with our broker friends.
Yes, with our mortgage brokers out there. And I wanted to get Barry on here because, he's always got such wonderful insights as to the market, what's going on. But he also, don't forget, was quite the mortgage originator in his day. And Barry has seen a lot of different markets, and with all of his, intelligence and fortitude, if you will, he really can give us some pointers on how we can best take advantage of the current market conditions today as a mortgage broker. So I wanted to just kind of touch base, Barry, with rates, and there's something going on in August that you wanted to bring up, and also just kind of best advice for the mortgage broker today, given the current environment that we're in. So what's going on in August?
Yeah, so I was a broker as a mortgage professional for a lot of years, and I certainly can relate to the people that are out there, both on the retail and broker side. I mean, this is a tough market to navigate. Rates have been great. They've moved up a little bit. They've settled down. What's the next move? Inflation is the enemy of interest rates. We've been able to handle it pretty well, but that's because the Fed's been buying so much of mortgage-backed securities. They say they're buying $40 billion a month of mortgage bonds. They're buying a lot more. They changed their language to say at least. Well, at least is like $100 billion of mortgage bonds a month. So they're really buying the market. But here's the thing. There's a lot of pressure on the Fed right now, and you hear it in the media saying, there's a misconception about housing, saying it's in a bubble. It really isn't. But when we look at things like the median home price jumping 24%, that's not appreciation. Appreciation's closer to 13%. It's the midpoint of sales above and below that number, but the media doesn't understand it. The general public doesn't understand it. And people in Washington probably don't really understand it very well either. So that puts a lot of pressure saying, is the Fed contributing to this housing bubble, which there isn't, but is the Fed contributing to it by buying mortgage-backed securities? Do we really need them doing this? So in August, there is the Jackson Hole Wyoming meeting. Now, it's been my research has shown that this is an area that, it's my experience, they've released policy changes at this meeting. Okay. So it's August 26th, 27th, and 28th. I think that because the pressure that they're under, it might be the stage for them to say, hey, we're going to start tapering, but we're going to taper mortgage-backed securities as the sacrificial lamb to the markets to say, okay, we're starting tapering. We're not going to contribute to a housing bubble. We're going to start slowing down our purchases. Now, they'll still be buying some, but even that slowdown could cause rates to move up a little bit, depending on other factors that are out there as well. So let's be on guard for that. Let's prep our customers for that as well. Now, when we take a look at what the opportunities are for us, even if rates do go up a little bit, it's this level of appreciation, which is 13% year over year. When you combine that with amortization for people that have had a home, you're talking about somewhere in the neighborhood of 17, 18, 20%, depending on where they are in the amortization schedule, the deeper in, the more amortization. So it tells you that just about anybody whose loan you did a year ago who has MI is a candidate to consider refinancing. And anybody with debt, which is the majority of our customers, that can benefit from a debt consolidation transaction, even if the rate's higher. Do the math. Even at a higher rate, pay off all their debts, free up all that cash. They could either use it, or if they really want to change their life, apply it into the mortgage that they currently have and accelerate the payments. Sometimes they can cut the remaining mortgage term in half of what it was. If they got 27 years left, they might have 11, 12, 13 years left. By using that same payment, cut your mortgage term in half, build equity. Even in the next several years, they'd have a tremendous amount of equity. Takes care of their retirement, takes care of their kids' college. You're changing people's lives for the better. And this is what an advisor really needs to do.
You know, Barry, I always appreciate your advice to the originators out there and our brokers here in this case, because you, like us, you've always been a strong proponent of, hey, get that purchase business, take care of your real estate agents. But you also, in parallel, have always said, but do not forget about your existing clients. Do not forget about those guys, and be the advisor to those guys and work with those guys on a continual basis. You've always been one to say, you got to work both of these things in parallel. It's not like I'm just going to move over to purchase and stick around there and focus because the rates have gone up and I don't think there's any business here. That's not the case. There's a lot of business there still in that client database. It's just a little different, and it's just changing your marketing, strategy or your advisory position to those people is to really start digging and say, hey, even though rates are a little bit up, are you carrying some debt? You've got great appreciation right now. Maybe we should look at consolidating some things. Maybe we are in a position now to drop that mortgage insurance. So there's always that extra book of business there, really, no matter what the rate environment is, just depending on the situation. So I really appreciate the fact that you always tell these guys to make sure you don't lose sight of those guys. You know, even though rates might be bumping up a little bit, that's always solid advice.
Thanks, buddy.
So you guys, look, I'm going to do this. If you're not connected to Barry at MBS Highway, I'm going to put a link down below where you can reach out and get connected to him for free. He'll keep you up to speed on what's going on in the market every single day, throughout the day, every day. And there's a lot of other stuff in there, guys, that you can take advantage of that'll make you really a mortgage advisor, which is really what you want to be. And when you dig up all those loans, based on what Barry's taught you, be sure to send them to Remen Wholesale. You can access them. Their logo is right on the right. There's a button in the upper right-hand corner that says Access Remen, because they're ready to help you with all that business. So with that, you guys do us a favor. Subscribe if you're meeting us for the first time over on your right. Share this with your coworkers. Leave your comments down below. And Barry, thanks so much for being here on That Broker Show.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you guys later.